Why do the Sith crave immortality? Darth Sidious is not the first Sith to crave immortality, no less power. Nor is he the first to discover that it is not only a fruitless task, but one that does not lead to the peace and fulfillment that he thought it would. We see this amongst many so-called spiritual traditions. We even see this amongst Buddhists. We see Buddhists whose primary goal is not to seek enlightenment, but to seek auspicious rebirth in a pure land. This is ridiculed in the Song of Enlightenment. We see Zen Buddhists who sometimes deliberately misunderstand the Heart Sutra. There's a passage that says no death, but in the same line it says no birth. Clearly, it's not to be taken literally, but metaphorically. But there are some people who insist as they stand trembling before the specter of death, they insist there is no death. And in the Avatamsaka Sutra, they explore the non-duality of eternity and just this one present moment. So to dispel confusion on this subject, I'd like to go back to basics and recall that in the Buddha's most concise meditation manual, the Anapanasati Sutta, it teaches that 3/4 of the path of the 3/4 of the 16 exercises he taught pertained to the inevitability of impermanence as an integral facet of mastering the first fold of the Buddha's eightfold path, the right view, the view that facilitates letting go. You see, the great irony, my friends, is this, that not only is the wish for immortality an act of grasping, so is the belief in immortality. For belief really is an act of rigidity, a rigidity of thought, and a rigidity of certitude. And both are grasping. You see, my friends, in the Buddha's first sermon, the Four Noble Truths, we learn that our stress is exacerbated by our instinctual drives to shove at some things for we experience them as dreadful, and to reach for other things for we experiencing them as desirous. The problem is not the impulses, they are there to help us survive. The problem is our resistance to the presence of that which we dread and our resistance to the absence of that which we desire. This resistance is the antidote to peace. It is the antidote to fulfillment. It is the antidote that none of us wants. And its most potent cure is a regular and empowered practice of mindfulness and meditation. I look forward to chanting and meditating with you after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of both Taoism and Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. We return to the sadhana version of the Song of Enlightenment written by Yongjia Zhuanzhui in either the 6th or 8th century. I think it's closer to the 8th century. translated by Red Pine into English and adapted as well as amplified by yours truly. So I've mentioned several times the Buddha taught an eightfold path, and one of the fringe benefits of the way I've arranged this practice is that we touch on each of the eightfolds. We're going to begin by reviewing wishing love, letting goes, or right views, and enthusiasms, 6 first and second folds of the Buddha's eightfold path. We do this by performing 2 recitations of empathetic bodhicitta and enthusiastic refuge. These are not prayers as much as just words that help to strengthen our intention. The first version of this is going to be rather literal recitation that we're setting to a triplet chant together. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on thee. Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Consider, if you will, these 3 highlighted nouns. Many people find them so useful that over the centuries they've earned the metaphoric nickname of the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels, kind of like Aladdin's lamp. For the second version of this same recitation, the second version of the same recitation is going to be more concise and more figurative, and we're setting it to a bookend chant together. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. As children, the first bicycle we most likely received came with training wheels, which, although were clunky, really did get the job done. Similarly, this evening, our first contemplative exercise is also going to be clunky, but don't worry, it'll get the job done. During each inhalation, let's do 2 things. First, let's generate vertical traction between our head and, very exciting, between our head and our tush, while silently and mentally reciting, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. During our exhalation, let's physically relax as best we can, while silently and mentally reciting an additional 12 syllables, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Let's chant together. Do you not see apparently idle followers of the way? Not actively studying, not apparently busy, not actively getting rid of delusions, not actively looking for the truth. The true nature of their ignorance is the same as their aware, laid back and loving Buddha nature. Their illusory empty bodies are the Dhamma bodies of the mastery of awareness and release. The Dharma body they realize does not include a graspable thing. Their original nature is the primordial Buddha's awareness. Letting go and love. It is as if the five skandhas of form, feeling, intensity, impulse, and awareness were as non-graspable as clouds floating aimless in the sky. The three poisons of hating, craving, and clinging, like mere bubbles appearing then gone. Seeing what is real but not as graspable persons or things, they instantly quench the fires of hell. One moment, if you please. Okay, take it from the top of the page. Seeing what is real during the perceptive inhalations, but not as graspable persons or things. During the relaxing exhalations, they instantly quench the fires of hell. Meanwhile, those who deceive others with lies denigrating Buddha's quick path spend countless having their tongues torn out. Instant understanding is thus Kamwanta Takata meditation. Every practice and perfection is present in your body. Okay. Instant understanding is thus common Tathagata meditation. Every practice and perfection is present in your body's tissues, facilitating awareness and release. This expressive existence look real in a dream. Once you're awake, the whole graspable universe is gone. No punishments or blessings, nothing lost or gained. As for the heart of Nirvana, do not ask for directions. Regarding that unpolished, dust-covered mirror, it is time you take a closer look at the preconceptions of the minions of Yang. Who has no thoughts, who is not born? What truly is not born is not born. Ask a tailor's mannequin made of wood. How is that quest for Buddhahood coming? Now let us remove the first of 2 metaphoric training wheels, reducing the length of our contemplative exercises from 12 syllables per breath down to just 3. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, notice this, and during our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite, relaxing. Now bear in mind, whether we know it or not, whether we feel it or not, during each inhalation, we automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, which is wired not for active concentration, but instead to simply notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and random. Similarly, every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. So these things are ensconced within the thoracic region, the lumbar region, and the cervical region of our spinal cord. What then do we do with our 3-pound supercomputer between your ears? To keep us from getting in our own way, we allow our brain to participate simply through the act of silent mental recitation to align its intention with the factory installed programming latent within our own spinal cord. Let go your grip on the material world. In the heart of Nirvana, eat and drink your fill free from the tyranny of chasing and fleeing. Practices are ephemeral, everything experienced during or relaxing exhalation could feel as if it is empty. This is the path of the perfect enlightenment of the Buddhas. Speaking with conviction is a sign of a true monk, thus unable, indulgent, asking questions. Severing roots is what marks a Buddha. Picking through the leaves and twigs of mastering minutia is not for me. People do not notice the jewel among jewels, waiting for them and the Buddha nature's Tathagata Gapan. Its six powers, neither empty nor not. Its perfect light, neither visible nor not. We purify the fibers of hating, craving, confusion, competing, and clinging that we passively notice during our inhalation, and acquire the five abilities of the wisdoms that are mirror-like, discerning, basic art, accomplishing and equalizing as we relax into our exhalation. Gonna have to divide this into two breaths because turning blue is not a good look for us. Only then will you know what cannot be measured. An image in a mirror is not hard to see, but hard to grab the moon in water. Setting out alone, walking alone, those who arrive take the Nirvana road. Their appearance ancient, their manner detached, ragged and gaunt, they are not noticed. Disciples without means, they are called poor, poor in possessions but not in freedom. Being poor, of course, they wept. The practice is treasuring the jewel within. Let us now remove the second of two metaphoric training wheels, reducing the length of our contemplative exercises from 3 syllables per breath down to just 1. During each inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each exhalation. We could silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. The priceless rule of noticing and releasing with inexhaustible uses. It never withholds its help or response. The three bodies and four insights are present within. The eight freedoms and six powers all mark the mind. Gifted people embrace it all concerning the way out once. Lesser minded but are not enthusiastic. Thinking about the superficialities of changing their clothes, they claim they are making incremental progress. Let people mock and others speak at a Buddhist quick path. Let them tire themselves out trying to burn the sky. Hearing the words is like tasting sweet dew. I swallow and suddenly enter the inconceivable. In hateful words I see a chance for merit. They have become my closest advisors. Not letting ridicule make enemies of friends. I show the power of accepting that nothing is born in harmony with my exhalation. Know the words and know the source. Do not over-focus on the emptiness of wisdom's latter perception and cessation. This is not something I alone have heard. Countless Buddhas have realized this too. The lion roars and speaks without fear. Lesser beasts hear and cower in fright. Wild elephants cease their rampaging ways. Sky dragons listen in silent rapture. Now that we've reached cruising altitude, together as a team, let us meditate as transformatively as General Leia Organa upon Ajahn Kloss under the guidance of Luke Skywalker. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Between YouTube's buffer and, of course, the chanting, it could take me a couple minutes to notice your question. Please do not take that personally. I traveled great rivers, crossed mountains and streams, seeking teachers and masters to better understand meditation. Ever since taking the Cow River Road, I have discovered life and death have no hold on me. Walking is meditation, sitting is meditation, speaking or silent, moving or still, I am at peace. Even at nightfall I remain unmoved, even poisons cannot affect me. Before my teacher, the Buddha Matipankara, he spent kalpas as Shanti the ascetic. How many births, how many deaths, birth and death go on without end. Since I suddenly realize that nothing is born, I treat fame and shame the same. Let's chant that one. Since I suddenly realize that nothing is as graspable as if it had been born, I treat fame and shame the same. I moved to a mountain and found a quiet place, deep and secluded beneath tall pines. An outsider monk enjoying sitting still, settled at last I am truly at peace. Those who are awake do not engage in manipulatively giving gifts. In a world of conditioned things, however, it is different. Giving us for a good rebirth one is still attached to form. You may as well shoot an arrow into the sky. Its momentum split and arrow falls back to earth, resulting in another disappointing life. Unlike inhalations, awareness and exhalations release the door to the real and unconditioned. Once you step through, you are in the Buddha realm. I ignore the twigs and look for the root, the jewel of the moon in pure aquamarine. Once you grasp this wish-fulfilling pool of inhalations, awareness and exhalations release. It's up to you when others never ends. Moon on the river and wind in the pines, how has interdependence cleared the sky all night. The pearl of the Buddha nature, precepts of inhalations, awareness and exhalations release. Mark the mind mist and clouds throughout the body. My greedy dragon subduing bold within my hateful tiger calming staff. With his 2 rings echoing on the trail, is not for pointing out the mundane, but for pointing out tracks left by the Tathagata's precious staff of non-violence. Do not search for the truth and do not dismiss delusion. Realize both are empty and have no form. No form but neither empty nor not empty. That is the Tathagata's real form. Nothing obstructs the mirror of the mind, illuminating a universe of countless realms, where millions of images appear, neither inside nor outside the perfect light. Saying everything is empty, they dismiss the laws of karma. Such recklessness of relying on fear rather than love is sure to bring misfortune. Renouncing existence for emptiness is the same as jumping into a fire to escape a flood. Letting delusions go and grasping the truth. That letting go, grasping mind is a master of disguise. Students unaware who take this for their only practice mistake a thief for their child, forgetting that grasping at the truth is still grasping. Reducing your Dharma wealth or cancelling your merit invariably results from discriminations of the mind. That is why in meditation we set the mind aside. We use the power of exhalation's relaxation instead of accepting that nothing is born. The great Bodhisattva Manjushri holding the figurative sword of wisdom, with his wisdom prasha blade and its indestructible diamond-like Vajra flames. Not only did he cut through the mind of heretics, he first ended Mara's brazen ways. He shook his Dharma thunder and beat his Dharma drum. He spread clouds of compassion and showers of sweet dew. The trampling of elephants covered the world with moisture. Whatever the path or lineage, everyone woke up despite the elitism of sectarianism. Naturally occurring Himalayan butter with nothing added, it alone produces my favorite ghee. The nature that pervades all natures, the Dharma that includes all Dharmas. The nature of noticing and releasing that pervades all natures of shoving and reaching, the Dharma that includes all Dharmas. A single moon is reflected in every drop of water. Within every drop is held a single moon. Every Buddha's Dharma body is my nature. My nature is one with every Tathagata. At every stage, all stages are present, but not in form or mind and not in what you do. Snap your fingers and countless Dharma doors appear. 3 kalpas go by in an instant. As for all statements, make no statements. That means nothing to this enlightened nature of mine. It cannot be slandered and it cannot be praised. Like space, it has no boundaries. It is never not present and always clear, but actively look and you cannot see it. You cannot actively grab it and you cannot actively let it go. When you cannot find it, that is when you will find it. It speaks when it is silent when it speaks. When the gate of gifts opens, nothing stands in its way. People ask what is the source of my understanding. I tell them the power of great wisdom that comes from inhalations, awareness, and exhalations, release. If it is right or wrong, nobody knows. If it makes sense or not, not even the gods can tell. I have been practicing this for kalpas and not just I have been practicing this for kalpas and not just to make people confused. Flying the Dharma flag, announcing the school's doctrine. Clearly the Buddha's teachings is at Saoshi. Kashyapa was the first to transmit the lamp, the first of 28 generations in the West. The Dharma traveled east and reached this land. Bodhidharma was our first patriarch, the first of 6 to wear the robe and spread the word. Those who understand later were countless. We do not define the truth, delusions are already empty. We define what is and what is not. We do not empty emptiness. It's 20 different kinds or no concern of us. We share the universal Tathagata nature of awareness, letting go and love. The mind is a sense organ and objects are its sensations. Think of them as streaks on a mirror, and light finally shining when the streaks are gone. Forget the mind and objects, it is your nature that is real. It is anybody and the Dharma is ending. People are not happy and lack self-control. Ignoring this age, they prefer mistaken views. Martyr becomes stronger as the hatred multiplies. Hearing about the Buddha's sudden teaching, they wish they could grind it into rubble like captured crabs, bitterly undermining each other's escape. Uh-huh. What needlessly arduous path the mind creates, the body suffers or endures. No need to claim injustice or shift the blame. If you are hoping to avoid the endless fire-like stresses of karma's folly, do not forsake the Tathagata's true teaching of inhalations awareness and exhalations release. In a forest of nothing but sandalwood trees, where it is lush and remote lions dwell. In the sylvan wooded quiet they roam where they will. Not the peace even birds keep their distance. Lion cubs all trail behind. By the time they all three they can roar. Foxes who follow the Dharma King, after lifetimes of mischief they can only yap. The sudden teaching is free of sentimentalities, elitism. As long as doubts remain, arguments follow. This mountain monk is not just banging his drum. He cares who might fall into the nothing or forever trap of relying exclusively on awareness or release. No or not, no, yes or not, yes. To miss by an inch is the same as 1,000 miles. Yes, and a dragon maiden suddenly became a Buddha. No one Sunakshatra fell into hell alive. I learned a lot when I was young. I read sutras and shastras and studied commentaries. The names of terms never seem to end, like counting grains of sand in the sea. It was such a waste of effort. Scolded by the Tathagata, what good is in counting up others' treasures? I realized all my efforts had been in vain. All the years I had wasted braving dust and wind. Misguided from the start, my understanding wrong. I did not know how the Buddha's certain teaching worked. Why devotees of lesser past did not see the way. Why unbelievers may be clever but not wise. They are so foolish, so stupid, pointing to the palm to explain what is real. Mistaking a finger for the moon as they take figurative statements as literal. Turning objects of the senses into ghost stories as they forsake awareness and cling to release. Who does not see a thing as truly graspable as a Tathagata, hence the name looking from on high. Those who understand are free of karmic burdens, those who do not still have little debts to pay. A hunger that keeps them from being satisfied by even a royal meal. A sickness not even a great physician can cure. To meditate despite the presence of desire is the power of prajna. And why a lotus is not burnt in the fire. Yungshi committed crimes and realized nothing is born. He became a Buddha and is still one today. When the lion roars his fearless teaching, it pities confused obstinate fools, who only see offenses that prevent Buddhahood. Blind to the secret the Tathagata revealed of the efficacy of awareness and release. Two monks were guilty of crimes, such as true party with his firefly light. Layman Vimalakirti dismissed third house as the sun melts the snow. Inconceivable is the wisdom of liberation. Its uses as countless as the Ganges sands. Who would not give every possible offering, such as 10,000 ounces of gold? But even one's flesh and blood would fall short. The unsurpassed king of all dharmas, realized by more Buddhas than the Ganges as grains of sand. This wish-fulfilling jewel I have revealed. May all who accept it do the same. Look around, there is not a thing to be permanently grasped. There are no people, there are no Buddhas. All the worlds in the universe are like bubbles in the sea. All the sages and worthies are as fleeting as mere lightning. Even if an iron will rolled across my skull, meditation's wisdom light would still shine. Though the sun turned cold and the moon turned warm, not even an army of demons can destroy the truth. When an elephant pulls a cart up a mountain, has anyone seen a mantis block its way? Elephants do not follow rabbit trails. Enlightenment is not confined by minor rules. Do not vilify the sky when you are looking at it through a reed. If you still do not understand, this is for you. Let us seal this evening's practice with 2 chants. Let's begin with, let us touch upon the 3rd, 4th, and 5th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path by chanting kind ethics. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness, spontaneous and uncontrived. And now let's touch on right view and right intentions, 1st and 2nd folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, by concluding our practice by chanting the 4 measurables. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.